Buckeyes and Beyond. Here are your hosts, Jeff and Mike.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Buckeyes and Beyond. Sunday, February 16th, 2020.
Sound a little rough there, partner.
Yeah, I've had a cold this week, so I'll try not to sound monotone. I'll try to sound more. I'll try to overdo it. I'll try to be like
gonna go way over the top today.
Yeah, Mike Greenberg.
Greenberg style.
Yeah. Welcome to the 1-800-Flowers.
On the 1-800-Flowers line we have with us today.
Use code Mike for 20% off on your first order. Radio voice.
I could just be Golick and just sit over here and eat and just, keep on getting fatter and fatter.
I'm not a fan of his son.
I don't listen to him that much for pretty much the same reason. First of all, I think he only got the jobs by straight nepotism. I mean, that's really the only reason why he actually got the job.
His son is just like that. His voice is just, I guess just give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's not like playing it on, like just trying to overdo it, but he's just like he went to radio school, like he went to school and he changed his voice to so what they did there was like, there's no way you talk like that.
No, he really over emphasizes almost every syllable that comes out of his mouth. You're absolutely right.
Talks like that.
Yeah.
And how could you get a woman? Like, I don't know if he does.
I don't know what his love life is.
Do you talk to somebody like that? Where
Hi, I'm Mike Golick. How are you? My dad is famous.
Do you come here often? Can I buy you a drink?
The lady will have this, and I'll have another Heineken.
Where'd she go?
She was just here a minute ago.
I guess I will move on then.
Hey, pretty lady.
Another night of masturbation.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, this isn't a good segue.
No, actually, yeah. Oh, man. Wow, yeah, I didn't think about that. That's not a...
That's okay. All right, so we're going to tone it down here. So, first topic, I guess we'll just touch on it just to get it the hell out of the way, was the Reip and Wint arrests this week and the dismissal from the team. And, I just don't get these guys. Just for obvious reasons, but it's like, what are you doing? Like, you're 22 years old, you're a senior, and where are they? I don't even know where they live.
So
this occurred on Sawmill Place Boulevard.
Yeah, which is where they lived because they were.
Oh, that's where they're at.
Yeah, that's their apartments because they were roommates. Yeah, I'm like you. It's so. I was actually talking to somebody just yesterday, and so the whole thing started with actual consensual sex between Reip and this young lady, and she decided to say no for whatever reason. Her right. She's entitled to say no. And if you're Amir Reip, senior, soon-to-be starting cornerback at The Ohio State University.
Maybe.
Well, okay. We sort of had him,
Yeah. He was a dime corner sort of guy.
So, either way, you can walk into almost any bar on campus, say who you are, and probably pick up at least 2 or 3 women. I mean, what you really had to go to this level? It's just
Apparently, these guys have. I don't know. From the affidavit and everything, I think there has to be some grand conspiracy for this not to be the truth. This sounds like.
Well, I watched,
especially if they actually do have video.
Yeah, which is actually what I was just going to say. I watched the arraignment, which was on the news, and now it's up on YouTube if anyone has any interest in watching that. I only watched it because of the show here that we do, so I wanted to have as much fact as I could on it. But they did say during the actual arraignment that there is video of him talking to her, saying that she that she has to say that it was.
But I wonder if someone possesses it, or is that?
I don't know where it is, but they did say during it that there is
back, like it's going to be used as evidence.
Right, yeah, which is what they. So it seems they both pled not guilty, which seems, if they have the video evidence of it, I don't know why you would do that.
Call me cynical or whatever, but I think these guys, when they're like locally like high profile or something, they just plead not guilty to everything, hoping that they get lucky and somebody gives them preferential treatment.
Could be, yeah, that could very well be.
Got away with that one.
Yeah,
it's like.
So their attorneys, who both spoke on their behalf, Reip's attorney didn't specifically deny the charges. Wint's attorney went full out, denied all charges, saying that he is confident that when it comes out that it will show that Wint didn't do anything wrong, and he gave his whole spiel about everything. So it really was two sides. And when I looked at them, and I'm not reading into this, I'm just telling you what I saw. When you looked at him, Reip came in first, just looked very stoic, had no real emotion whatsoever. When Wint came in, he was damn near in tears the whole time. He looked like he was really scared. He was scared to death. So take that for whatever you want. I don't know.
Yeah. Not to get into the details of the affidavit, I guess, but
yeah, if you want to actually read them, it's online, or if you watch the arraignment, they actually read them in court. So it's to do it as tastefully as we could. You could just say that Reip and this young lady were engaged in consensual sex at the very start. She said no.
I got you. Okay.
Afterwards, Wint. This is all according to the facts. Wint walks in, asks if he can join in, and then at that point, she has already said no, and at that point, Reip and Wint force her to do multiple sexual activities to her. So, and then afterwards, according to it, Reip records her and says, "You have to say that this was all consensual," and forces her to take a shower. And then he drives her home, which I thought was very strange too. So anyway,
I never get the whole thing with like what, like you guys are roommates, and like you're on a football team, and like I mean they go way back, and and then you want to, I mean I don't know, I mean this is all allegation, I guess, but it's like you want to get together with the same girl.
Yeah, I
never understood that.
No,
personally, but to each their own.
Yeah, I guess it's just
then in that manner is obviously screwed up. So.
Yeah, and credit to Coach Day. I mean, immediately dismisses him from the team. No, we're going to wait for the whole legal system to play out before we make any decision. So credit to Coach for just saying this does not meet our team expectations.
Yeah, get him out of here.
Yeah.
Like, give me a break.
Yeah.
I mean, just to put yourself... Obviously, I mean, whatever was going on there... I mean, unless it's just like some grand conspiracy. They might... Because usually the program, the football coach, the athletic director, they get information that maybe we don't get.
Right.
And sometimes they even talk to the accused on their team, and they get an idea of what's up, and it apparently didn't sound great.
Right.
That's usually how it goes.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I did, and if you want to read Coach Day's statement, it's actually out there, but he essentially says that, this did not meet with our team expectations. We will still do everything we can to actually help these two. They will still have access to the same facilities that, to the same health facilities that other students have and things like that. So they're just no longer with the football program. So
yeah, I mean, they might be kicked out of school.
They could be, yeah. Just don't know. I mean, I think, and the next court date for them is February 21st. So we'll see what happens from that point on.
What date?
February 21st.
Oh, okay.
Is their next court date.
Well, it's coming up Friday. Next Friday, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Huh. So, all right. Well, Michigan State's got a new coach. And they had his press conference this week. This is Mel Tucker. Came from Colorado. Goes way back. Kind of came back home in a way, because he was an assistant way back when. Yeah,
he was a grad assistant under Saban back in '97. Mel Tucker's been around for a long time. I don't think most people realize how long he's been actually coaching. So he started out, like I said, as a grad assistant with Saban in '97. Followed that up at Miami of Ohio, DB coach, and then followed Saban to LSU to be the DB coach. And then most Buckeye fans would probably recognize him, because from that point he became one of our coaches. Mm-hmm. He was the DB coach on the national championship team in 2002. Promoted to our defensive coordinator in 2004. From that, Browns fans like us would also recognize him, because he was the DB coach from 05 to 07. In 08, he was named the Browns defensive coordinator. And then from that point, he sort of jumped all around the league. He had multiple jobs. Then next high-profile gig was Georgia's defensive coordinator in 2016. Was there for 2 years, and then was named Colorado's head coach in 2018, where he went 5-7. So, and then on to back full circle to Michigan State.
Yeah, I know Colorado fans. Yeah, I mean, I'm only getting this off of some comments and stuff that I saw, but they seem to be kind of sounding off.
Yeah,
like really pissed that he left, but
because he had. When the job first opened, initially he came out and said, "I'm not leaving," which is what all coaches do. And then, if you believe what's being written, because they haven't really publicly announced what his actual salary is, if you believe it, they more than doubled his current salary at Colorado just to actually get him to come back. So, because Fickell turned him down flat, so they had to go back to Mel Tucker and offer him a truckload of money to come back. So,
imagine being in a position where you have to overpay double a guy's salary where he's at, where he finished 5-7 in his first year. I mean, not that he couldn't be some, but I mean, he doesn't have much head coaching experience.
No,
you got to back up the Brinks truck for a guy that's like, I guess he might be.
He might be worth it. We'll have to see.
We'll see. 5 years.
Yeah, I just think it all goes back to what a clown show that whole thing has absolutely become. It's laughable that you're absolutely right that you have to overpay a guy that went 5-7 at Colorado. That's what your program has now become. Yeah. And if I am a Michigan State fan, I'm absolutely just screaming out of my window, what the hell are you guys doing?
You could have just brought John L. Smith.
John L. Smith. Oh, man. God, what a nightmare that was for them, too. Yeah, so, I mean, we'll see how this... I don't know how this is really going to work. I mean, Mel Tucker, we don't know what he is really going to be. In all fairness to him, he hasn't really been given much of a shot to be a real head coach yet. So we'll see. What I can say is I don't think it's going to happen very fast. I think it's really going to be a slow burn for him. So,
yeah, the weirdest thing that came up with his press conference was that D'Antonio was not there at all. But Tom Izzo was, and Tom Izzo was giving support. But meanwhile, so like D'Antonio is like retiring from coaching, but he's still holding some sort of position and kind of like high-paying position.
Yeah,
in the
he's still
department.
he's still getting paid by the athletic department for something. I don't know what the actual
I heard
position
he's
is.
got like $1 million salary in the athletic department after retiring, quote unquote, from coaching,
and taking that huge paycheck that he got, or that whatever it was, that
the bonus.
Yeah, that huge bonus
It's
that
like
he got.
a 10-year bonus.
Right.
Boys all like to have that at work.
I know. Yeah. I've been there for 10 years, so go ahead and give me 5.6 million or something, or how much it was.
I think I got like a $50 gift card at work for being there 10 years. Was it 50? Might have been 100. $100.
I was at a company for 7 years, and I got like a $50 watch. So gee, thanks.
Fossil watch.
Yeah, I got a Fossil watch after 7 years of service.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's great. Nice.
Yeah, it's not 4.3 mil.
Yeah.
Dang. D'Antonio's not even there. Izzo picks up the slack and gives his support. D'Antonio can't show up and say a damn word.
No, and I don't know what that's about. So here's sort of my theory behind this is I think D'Antonio wanted Fickle to take his spot. And for whatever reason, the board of directors, the board of regents, which is, they have way too much power up there, did not agree with that, or they dropped the ball on trying to get Fickle in. And I think D'Antonio is just a little bit bitter because he and Fickle they are really close. They're really good friends.
Yeah. He wanted to be involved on the replacement.
Right.
And he wasn't, so he's being all pissy and bitchy about it. So he so he's not even gonna didn't he because he knows Mel Tucker. Because they coached together.
Yeah, they've actually coached together before because D'Antonio he was on Saban's staff too, I think, at one point. Or no.
Well, Tressel
for sure. So they know each other.
Yeah.
It's just, but I think Fickle is he's more close. I think Fickle's wife and his wife are really good friends. So I think it's all sort of like that, and he really wanted Fickle to be his replacement.
Well, they knew that was going to be a tough sell.
Sure.
I mean, who the hell wants to just pick up and move? And when Fickle's said before, he's not. It's going to take. Basically the highest state job.
Yeah, that's real. I think Fickle would probably leave for a mid-level, Pac-12 maybe job. Maybe, I don't know.
That seems like a lateral move to me.
Yeah, I suppose. I just think because right now he's not in a Power 5 conference, and I think he might do it just to get himself into a Power 5 conference. I don't know.
He's just said, he goes, look, I got kids in school, we're rooted here in Ohio. I just don't want to deal with it. They'll pay him fairly well. Yeah. And it's like, it's not worth the headache. Who wants to hear the wife? Goodbye.
No, hey, no, I get it. No, that will definitely factor into it. I just think he may want at some point to try to get into a Power 5 school. That's the only thing. That's my only thought process behind it. Now, if he were doing this well at Michigan State, I don't think that he would ever leave because he's in a Power 5 conference. So I just think that might be the only thing that maybe gets him out of there.
Yeah, we'll see. You never know, but once your kids start getting toward high school and stuff, you're like, I'm just gonna wait this out. And ride it out until kids. You don't have any reason to not move, or Yeah.
And let's really not forget, I mean, Fickle's still really young. I mean, it's not like he's really dying to get somewhere that fast. I mean, he could stay at Cincinnati for another 10 years, and he would still be in his late 40s, I think, before he, if at that point he really decides to actually try something else. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he's still a pretty young coach. So.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens with Mel Tucker. It's going to be it'll be a long. I'm curious to see how long of a leash he really does get. So,
I mean, he should get a long leash. I mean, if they're smart, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
But
we'll see.
Yeah. So we'll move on to the Ohio State, like the whole series that we're doing. We're just going over game by game each week from the 2019 season. Recap those games, kind of talk about that game, and then how it kind of, if there's any tie-ins to 2020 and that sort of thing. So we're going to game number 3 from the 2019 season was Ohio State at Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Both were 2-0 coming into that game. Indiana, let me go back. So Indiana finished.
They made a bowl game. I think they finished 7 or 8 wins.
Yeah,
because they played Tennessee in the Gator
game.
Bowl, which really upset me because I really wanted them to actually win that game.
That game was ridiculous. They shouldn't even have lost that game. That was so crazy. There's a lot. I want to say there's some bad luck in it near the end, but they had a lead and blew it.
They had a big lead and blew it. Yeah.
But so they started off the season with Ball State and Eastern Illinois before us. And
not really the best way to prep for us, but
so they were 2-0 coming in, but it was like obviously play anybody. Not that we did, but
still, I mean, we started out against Cincinnati and
Cincinnati.
So,
but Cincinnati's formidable. So, so Ohio State was obviously looking much better than Indiana. It usually do. I mean, you think that, but sometimes in Indiana, they're kind of sneaky. They can give you a ball game for 3 quarters.
Indiana's always one of those teams where they're always well coached. They never really give up. They always fight to the very end. And they sometimes can keep it. They can really keep it close for 3 quarters, 3.5 quarters.
Yeah, there's been some tough games. They always played Ohio State and Michigan super tough.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I remember 96 or 8. Oh my gosh.
Sorry about that.
They played Ohio State so tough, and it was going into the fourth quarter, it could have went either way. I think it was a rainy game. It was Ohio State's national title champ.
Right.
See, it was at Indiana. Mm-hmm. It was 27-16 final, and a bunch of. I think if it was rain or whatnot, but it was one of those games that could have went either way.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. It's always us and Michigan that they always play close. In fact, I think they even got Michigan a couple years ago.
This one both 2-0 coming in. I'm sure Ohio State was heavily favored. I don't see that in front of me, but anyway. So
51-10 was the final score. It was a typical game for us. Fields was 14-24 for a $199 and 3 touchdowns. Dobbins had 22 carries for 193 and a score. Just some real quick notes from it. I think this was the game where Fields sort of looked in total control of the game. He sort of looked I think this is the game where he sort of took over as a leader out on the field too. But he didn't look rattled. He didn't look confused, scared. Just looked in total control. Now, Indiana's defense may have had a little bit to actually do with that, but at the same time, it was really nice to see him so early in the season show that he was ready to, take over as a leader on the field.
Yeah, Olave had a huge first half. I think he had in the first half, he was 3 catches for 70 yards and a TD and also a punt block.
Yeah.
So they were super balanced in the first half with, JK. Well, let's see. Did they play? Yeah, he played in the second half.
He played, just to start out the second half.
So while the first team was in, they were super balanced. I'll rephrase that. Because, Fields had 24 attempts, pass attempts. JK had 22 carries. So right there, you see a super balanced attack there.
In fact, they may have even been more run-heavy because Teague had 10 carries, and I think a couple of those were actually during the first half, too.
Okay,
yeah,
so he got some early action.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ended up going for over 106 on 10 carries.
Yeah.
He had a 40-yard run. JK with a 56-yard run. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was Indiana's only real bright spot was right before the first half was over. They ran a trick play that they scored a touchdown on that that was it was one that really never should have worked, but
not bubble screen, a little wide receiver screen behind the line, tight end who was on that same side of the line of scrimmage, slips past Harrison, who went to go attack the wide receiver screen and catch, and then that guy, wide receiver, threw it over top and
touchdown.
Yeah. So it was really it was kind of like the only. Well, they had a 28-yard pass and a 21-yard pass. So.
Yeah, but not a lot of big plays for him.
Yeah, I mean, Ramsey threw for 162. I mean, so it was like.
Yeah, they're just. This was another game where the defense really, they really showed out, and which. I think going into this season, all of us were a little bit concerned about the defense because it was so bad in 2018. We were a little bit concerned about what it was going to look like. And Game 3, it still looked really, really good. So it was really nice to see that.
That was the big thing coming in to this year because quite frankly, they were. Kind of outside of even the national title season, I want to say going back to 2012. 2012's defense, 2013's defense were sieves.
Yeah.
They were awful.
It was
and even though, they went undefeated, but they outscored everybody.
Yeah, they just happened to be able to have, to score so many points. Yeah.
And in 2014, it didn't start off great. Yep. I guess Virginia Tech, and even there were some games through that season that the defense wasn't exactly on point. No. But they finished strong enough. They did enough to win. Kind of bend, don't break.
Yeah, I think going back to that season, to that season, I think the Big Ten champ. Well, I think even if you go back to the Michigan game, I think that was where they really started to sort of find their own spot, and then obviously the Big Ten. The Big Ten championship game. They beat Wisconsin, whatever it was, 56-0. That sort of cemented them as a really great defense.
Yeah, it just kind of seemed like under Urban, it's like the defensive side of the ball always seemed like kind of a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
It was always like, let's see. Just a lot of like where in 2018, they're giving up like 50 to Maryland.
Yeah.
Crap like that. But even, they give up 28, 27, almost 30 points and a lot of wins.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, gosh, really? Then we had the just complete disasters against Iowa and Purdue. And those losses were like, what in the world? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
So, just complete. They're not exactly isolated though either.
No,
but you kind of saw you're like, but the 2016 season. The most they ever gave up there in the 2016 season was 27 against Michigan. So But then they go to the Fiesta Bowl and get blown out 31-0
by Clemson.
During that season we never saw anything. But then it came back around there's that defense, or there's that's that game. It was like there's that anemic offense that we
Yeah.
sometimes saw. So, but
So yeah, I mean, it was really good to see that our defense looked as though they may have finally gotten their act straight in this game, because Indiana had given us fits in previous years. So it was nice to see.
Yeah. So we had
And
everybody getting into it just like in a blowout. Just like a lot of people.
I think we actually closed out the game with Damon Arnett's pick six, which was a really nice play too.
Yeah. It's nice to see a defensive touchdown.
Yeah.
Those guys, they don't get too many shots at those.
Mm-mm.
So, another game, number 3 on the 2019 season, 51-10 over Indiana. Next one would be
Miami.
Yeah,
which is the game where I think people were scoring who bought a really expensive ticket. We were letting them come down and play so that they could get a touchdown, because I don't remember what the score was that game, but I think we scored a whole bunch of points.
Oh yeah, 70.
It
broke 70, right?
Yeah, I think it was it was 76-5, but
yeah, because so we'll go over that one next week.
Yeah,
well, much as there is, so
yeah, there's not much to that. But
basketball Buckeyes this week at 2 wins. The first one on was it Tuesday?
Tuesday night against Rutgers.
Yeah, that one was a little scary. They started off really well in the first half, and then kind of just blew the lead.
Yeah, they had a real nice lead going into the middle of the second half and just got absolutely complacent and didn't take care of the ball, didn't try to really, protect the ball, just was very lackadaisical. And Rutgers, to their credit, said, okay, fine, then we're going to try to come back, and boy, we almost blew it.
Yeah, I mean, they had a lead of 20 at one point?
18, I think, 18? Was the biggest. Yeah.
I see 18.
Yeah. They had an 18-point lead at one point in the second half, and then all of a sudden, they were sleepwalking. So.
Yeah. It's like it got down to 5?
Yeah, it was down to 5. In fact, I think it was even 4. Yeah, I was going to say.
Down to 4 with 37 seconds left.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it wasn't that lopsided in the second half. It was a 9-point, went from 15-point lead to Rutgers winning in the second half. As far as just first half versus second half, but Rutgers had a 9-point advantage in the second half. So, but to almost score, just to kind of have that offensive drought, versus what you did in the first half was kind of
and I think
disappointing, but.
One of the bigger stats was Rutgers' bench is the reason why they actually came back and won that game. They didn't have a single starter score double digits. It was all their bench that scored their points. Young Baker had 17 and 13. I mean, so credit to their bench, and our bench absolutely did jack. Well, no, that's not true. Washington had 10, Arns had 9, Liddell had his, a typical 4 points. So, I mean, their bench is the reason why they were able to come back and score. But, big scores for us. Wesson Brothers had, Andre had 13, Caleb had 16. So.
Yeah. Out of the two of them, Andre had 10 rebounds.
I know.
Just shows you, I don't know. I think Caleb's still living out by the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Still picking and popping and not rolling.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I hate it whenever he does well from the
he went
line.
3 for 3 this game, but he only shot 7 times in the whole game, which is kind of crazy. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you're a star player, and you're and a big man star player at that.
This is what drives me nuts about this team. Holtman has never backed off the fact that the offense runs through Caleb Wesson. If that's the case, if the person that you run the offense through gets 7 shots, there's something wrong with that plan then.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
That he should have 5 assists.
Yeah.
Or something. He had 1.
Yeah, it's so backwards the way that he's running it. Now, we've won 17 games with 5 or 6 left. So I mean, it's not awful, but at the same time, you can't have a guy who you run the offense through that takes 7 shots and has 1 assist.
Yeah, it's we just go back to C.J. Walker actually had 5 assists this game and only 1 turnover, so he didn't shoot worth a shit. But
no,
but hey, that's okay. I mean, we don't need him. Why? I don't know why he's shooting 6 threes.
Yeah, and he was 1 for 9 for the game, which.
But he hit his free throws. He went to the line twice and hit 4 free throws. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, assists to turnovers. He's taking care of the ball, distributing and doing that. But I mean, that's kind of what we want out of the guy.
Absolutely.
We don't want a damn point guard. They keep kind of playing point guard by committee, and I mean, it's fine if you got a guy in foul trouble, but if you don't, then why are we, this time it's Luther's turn, this time it's Dwayne's turn, this time it's CJ's turn. I mean, why like to keep it CJ and DJ if DJ comes back?
Yeah.
But
every time I see Washington or Muhammad bringing the ball up the court, I want to scream because it makes no sense, and it happens. It doesn't happen that often, but it happens more often than what it should. It
seems like Dwayne Washington is going to become more de facto point guard again.
He is going to be a point forward. That's really what he is going to wind up being.
I mean, what is he, 6'4"?
I think.
6'3".
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I suppose he could be a point guard, but he's more of a shooter than he is a distributor. So.
Yeah, I mean, if that helps him, I don't know. He's a better shooter than Muhammad.
Yeah, he definitely is that. Although he wasn't in this game, he was 4 for 9. He was 0 for 2 from 3. Muhammad was 3 for 4 and went 2 for 3 from the line, from the 3-point line. So, and then you had Arns, who this was one of his typical games. He only took 4 shots. All of them threes, and he made 3 of them. So, but yeah, to get back to your point, Washington is a better shooter than Muhammad is. So, but in this game, he just didn't shoot that well.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys. I mean, I would say a lot of guys with the same skill set, but sometimes it seems that way.
It does, especially when you look at Washington and Muhammad. I mean, they're almost identical in build.
Wesson's kind of that way, too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
sometimes he can play tougher, though.
Yeah, he
played bigger than he is at times.
That's a really good way to put it. He plays down the post more. But yeah, so it's just this game was just so frustrating to watch. You didn't watch it, but I did, and it was so frustrating to watch them blow that big lead. And luckily they did get the win though, but it was a struggle, and it really didn't have to be. But I think this really goes back to what your statement was about how the Big Ten is just so good right now.
Yeah, I mean, Rutgers has a winning record in the conference.
Yeah.
Even after this game, they're 8-6. They're 8-5 in the conference coming in. I mean, yeah. I mean, they have Ron Harper Jr.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Ron Harper Jr. is a sophomore. 6'6".
I never heard him.
Yeah, 6'6" sophomore.
That's
out of
right.
New Jersey.
Yeah, he is.
Ron
I didn't
Harper
even think
Jr.
about it during that game.
He kind of looks like his dad.
I don't think that they ever
hair.
called him. They don't think that they ever referred to him as Junior during that game. I don't know if they did or not. I don't remember.
He's got a little bit of sideshow Bob hair, but
yes, but I do remember.
Yeah. But yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah,
almost 12 points a game, almost 6 rebounds.
Yeah.
So
he does actually look a lot like his dad.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. So Ron Harper Jr. So you might hear that name more.
Yeah,
coming up. Yeah, I don't know if he's their top scorer or.
He's averaging. Let me see. He's averaging 11. Yeah. So he's averaging 12 and 6 boards. So that's not bad.
Yeah. Let me see. Is he? Yeah, he is their leading scorer.
Yeah, he's a sophomore.
They must be super balanced.
Yeah, no doubt.
Rutgers. I know their coach. I never I'm not sure if I ever came across their coach before.
I don't know. No.
When
they said it during the game, I didn't know. I had never even heard of them. So.
Yeah, they're super balanced. They got Ron Harper Jr. at 12, almost 12 points a game. Another 10 points a game. Another guy 10 points a game. Another 8. That's almost another 8. Another 7. Like they got a lot of guys chipping in. Let's see, 1, 2. That's 7 guys right there.
Yeah,
that's between 7 and 12 points a game. That'll
get you 70 to 75 points each game, and that's usually good enough to win. So.
Yeah. So. On the other hand, let's see what Ohio State's is like that. Because, I guess sometimes they seem balanced and sometimes they're, or this is just based on averages, but.
Wesson is averaging 9.
See, I guess they're similar.
Caleb's at 14. CJ Walker is probably low. He's averaging 7.6? Really? I wouldn't have guessed it was that high.
Yeah, now we got to pick up the slack. DJ Carton was averaging 10 points a game.
Yeah.
And now he's out, so we got guys got to pick up that slack.
Yeah.
So Kyle Young against Purdue did pick up that slack. Segue.
Yeah, there you go. Very, very well done, sir.
I'll be Mike Greenberg. Segue brought to you by... what's another sponsor?
I don't know. I can always remember the 1-800 Flowers inbox.
Yeah. But they handled Purdue on yesterday. Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, that game you listened to and watched. I was at work, so I didn't actually watch it.
Yeah. So this game was. They had control of this game pretty well throughout. And Purdue's a crazy team. You think our season's been rocky all over the map? Purdue has been all over the map. It makes no sense. They have. Let's see. So let's go on. So they lost to Florida State by 3.
Florida State's a really good team, though.
Yeah. And then they blew out Virginia 69-40.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's look on so they lost them at Marquette by 10. They lost to Texas by 4 at home.
Jeez.
Blew out Virginia by almost 30. Then 2 games later they lose to Nebraska by 14.
Yeah, that
doesn't make no sense.
Yeah.
And then they see another. Then they only score 37 versus Illinois.
That's insane.
Yeah, they couldn't even hit 40 points.
Jeez.
Looked like a middle school offense.
That's ridiculous.
So,
man.
They're kind of all over the map. They can play outstanding, and then just. They kicked Michigan State's ass by almost 30.
Yeah, that's definitely an up and down season. That's really up and down.
Yeah.
That's a really good observation.
They beat Iowa. They put 104 points up on Iowa.
What?
Yeah. 104-68.
Jeez.
And then they beat Indiana, and then they lost to Penn State, which is totally respectable. Penn State's got a really good team this year.
Yeah, I know. We actually lost to them twice, right?
I can't remember if it was once or twice, definitely. But Penn State, they're looking like they could be strong in the tournament.
Yeah, they definitely could be.
So, yeah, Purdue's been all over the map. We cannot. They're 14-12, but have shown glimpses of
Yeah, they're definitely a bubble team.
They go from looking like a Sweet 16 team to what's below the NIT.
Yeah, I don't know there actually is a tournament below the NIT, but I can't remember what it's called, to be honest.
It's CBA.
That might be it, actually.
I don't know.
I don't know what it's called.
It's like. Oh my gosh! Now you gotta look it up. Tournament below NIT.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
CBI.
That's right. Yeah,
College Basketball Invitational. It was the first Wikipedia result when I looked up tournament below NIT.
CBI. Good Lord!
If you're just looking for some scrimmages, if you're just looking for some practice, you're like this team. We just need some extra games. We just gotta get some. I got some new plays on the work in here.
College Basketball Invitational. Boy, they sure do make it sound really cool, huh?
Yeah. It sounds like the Hawaii,
Yeah.
Maui Invitational.
Yeah, the College Basketball Invitational. No, it's not really that
Yeah,
good.
it's like, oh, hey, what tropical climate are we going to go to? No, you're just going to play at home. or no, wait, who do you got in the seating? Oh, you got North Dakota State. You'll be playing in North Dakota.
Yeah, you'll be playing in North Dakota in the middle of March.
There are no neutral sites. We're not paid for that shit. So, Ohio State handled Purdue very well. I mean, Kyle Young is the glue. I mean,
he has been all year.
One thing that we haven't talked about is when he went out with the appendectomy, and he missed 4 games.
I believe you're right. Yeah, 4, could have been even 5 games. I'm not sure, but yeah, it was a pretty good stretch of games.
I think he, let's see, missed 2 games. I guess he just missed 2, but then again, you come back. I mean,
you're not really going to be the same player.
He had to get back into the swing of things. It's almost like he missed 4. I guess I felt like it. So, I mean, he's kind of the glue guy.
He absolutely
because he does all the dirty work, and he let's see.
In this game, he had 16 points, 7 rebounds. He only had 1 assist. But he made 6 of 9 shots. He went, and now this is a big stat for him. He went 4 for 4 from the free throw line, which he's a horrible free throw shooter. So
it's not his game. But he led the team with 16. And Caleb Wilson 13 points and 8 rebounds. But he had a really weird Caleb Wesson game where it's like he had 6 turnovers. He went he had 2 fouls in the first half. He sat his ass on the bench in the first half because with 2 fouls. And I don't remember the fouls. Because I think I was still listening on the radio as I was running errands. But I don't know, whatever. I'm not even going to try to speculate what kind of type of fouls they were, but then he missed 2 layups. Like he actually made good decisions because I think he had Harms out on him or somebody that he could take off the dribble.
Right.
Now, who he can take off the dribble is very
selective. Very, very selective.
The amount of players in all of college basketball are not that many, but he made a smart decision not try to shoot over Harms, and he pump faked him, a little head fake, and tried to go by him, and he did.
Yeah.
And twice he missed layups. Twice. And one of them, he like lollygagged to get his own rebound because was it on a fast break? It was on a fast break. One of them was on a fast break. So it was so he went to go get it, and he's just like smiling and laughing because he blew a layup because it almost looked like he went for a dunk and it came out of his hand.
Oh.
And then he kind of lollygagged to go hustle to get it. And then one of the Purdue guys hustled and stole it from him.
Jeez.
And, Holtman gave him death stares. But it was like, but then after the game, he's like, I guess sometimes you just got to let players play, and I'll just leave it at that. Sometimes you got to let players play. But, it wasn't good. So
I think Holtman, it's kind of hard to really talk bad about him this week because they won 2 games. But Holtman, his coaching decisions have been up and down too throughout the season. I mean, he deserves some of the blame for a lot of the bad games that they've lost. So
it's just like they need more guys to just lock in and play with more fire.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get a lot of guys that kind of just, it's just like it's like they don't know their role, or they don't, like Caleb, like he's all over the map, like he's all over the place. He really looked awesome in the for stretches in the second half, and then there's stuff where it's just like, what are you doing? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like a turnover or a missed layup, and it's just like, what is that?
Yeah, and for him, that's a good game for him. He hasn't had that game where he just plays lights out, near perfect, doesn't make many mistakes. And I think I sent you a text about this too. I think that's his ceiling. I don't think he's going to get much better than that, man. And it's upsetting because you pointed out, which was really upsetting to me, he's only a junior.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to be back next year.
Yeah. And I'd like to think that, maybe it's mental and maybe it's, I don't know, confidence thing, and maybe something that I know Mickey Mariotti doesn't work. I don't know if he crosses over at all, but
no idea.
It'd be nice if somebody could kind of get with him with more strength and conditioning, because he lost weight. He's no faster.
No.
And he looks soft. He just does not want to live in the paint. This game, he resided in the paint a little more.
Yeah.
It was like, and it helped free up open shooters. Because we had a lot of good open shooters, open shots. The guys weren't looking for shots that weren't there.
Yeah, if you look at some of the numbers, Washington was 3 for 5. Muhammad was 3 for 5. Kyle Young was 6 and 9. Andre was 3 of 7. Even C.J. Walker was 3 of 6. So, there wasn't a poor shooting performance.
Yeah, and Caleb Wesson had 4 assists.
Yeah.
So, there were some times where he'd kick it back out. C.J. Walker had 4. They had 14 assists. That's what you want. You want double-digit assists.
Right.
In games where, sometimes you're going to miss open shots, but if you can get open shots, you get a better chance of making them. If you move the ball appropriately and just move it and inside out and look for, if Caleb's, one time he split a double team for a score, which was like,
that's really what you want to see from him.
Yeah.
So.
And then sometimes he'd kick them out and get open looks for guys, and that's exactly what you want.
Yeah, he's, if he can play like this, it ups our stock in the tournament. But I don't know if he can play like this for a stretch of 6 or 7 games. He just can't, because he hasn't shown that he is able to actually do that throughout the season. But what I'm sort of hoping, because Kyle Young had such a great game, I'm sort of hoping he's going to ride this, and we're going to have a nice stretch run here to where we can make a good solid run into the Big Ten tournament. And and I was actually looking here too. I was wrong. We blew out Penn State the first time, 106-74, and then they got us at their place, 90-76. So we did actually split against them.
So yeah, it's respectable.
Yeah.
It seems like if you go down the standings, it's super interesting. Go down the standings and you'll see the splits. Like if you look at the home and away.
Yeah.
It's like real lopsided as far as home and away. Like there's only one team in the entire conference with a winning record away.
Really?
Yeah, that's Penn State.
Okay. I was thinking that it might have been
Maryland.
Yeah.
They're 4-4.
Okay. Yeah.
So everyone's winning at home. Rutgers is undefeated at home.
Really?
17-0 at home.
Wow.
1-6 on the road.
Yikes.
So if you go down there, look, you got like 4-4, 5-3. This is top to bottom. Maryland 4-4, Penn State 5-3, Michigan State 4-4, Rutgers 1-6. This is all road records.
Yeah.
3-5, 4-5, 4-6. Us 3-5, Purdue 3-7, Minnesota Golden Gophers 1-8, Indiana 1-5. Indiana's 16-8, but they're 1-5 on the road.
Wow.
5 of their 8 losses are on the road. So Michigan Wolverines 2-5. Nebraska, they suck, but they're knocked off Purdue, but they suck. But they're 0-9 on the road. We're Northwestern 1-8.
What is Minnesota's record?
Minnesota is 12-11. So
we lost to them twice.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the first time that was our first loss of the season, and we lost at their place 84-71, and then they got us at home 59-62.
Yeah, that game was ridiculous to watch. That was horrible. That game must look like nobody showed up.
Yeah. So again,
Kyle Young was like the leading scorer. The Minnesota took care of the ball. They only turned it over 4 times in that game.
jeez.
And we turned it over 12, which isn't good. It's not,
it's not awful, but yeah. But that sort of goes back. We keep on circling back to your point. This conference is they are just cannibalizing each other. It is insane. And I would also say it's the toughest conference in college basketball. It really is.
Yeah, look at, say, what's another good conference? Usually ACC, but I don't know what they're looking like
Pac-12 is probably better this year. I don't know.
Yeah, ACC, they have a few.
You got North Carolina, you got Virginia.
Yeah. So, let's see. They look a little different. Yeah, they're a little different. They're top heavy.
Yeah.
Like Duke, Louisville. They're 22-3, 21-5, 21-4 for Florida State. They're kind of top heavy. Virginia's a little down this year.
Yeah.
Probably because they lost the DeAndre Hunter.
Right. Yeah.
And the other kid.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of his name.
White kid. But I forget his name. Shoot, I think he got drafted. So they're 17-7, so they're similar to our record.
Right.
But yeah, they're a little different. Even on the road, they're like their top teams have winning records on the road, and 6-3, 7-1. Florida State's 5-4, but
yeah,
they're a little different. Everyone's better at home. But let's look at, who'd you say, Pac-12?
Yeah, I think the Pac-12 is probably
they're pretty strong.
Close. Yeah, I think there's.
Yeah, you got half of their looking like on the bubble, or going down. You look like you could pot. You have as many as it's crazy. Colorado is number 1.
Wow,
in Pac-12 in first place, and at 20-6 overall, 12-2. Well, I'm sorry, 20-6 overall, 9-4 in the conference. Oregon, they only have 2 ranked teams. They only have 2 ranked teams, but they have as many as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams that could potentially make the tournament, going all the way down to Oregon State. Now, in conference, Oregon State, Utah, Stanford, they have losing records in conference. But some of that could change by the time we get to first week of March. But,
right.
There's they got some potential there. Big East, how is Big East looking? Big East with
Villanova,
10 teams.
Yeah,
they got 5 ranked teams.
Villanova,
yeah,
Providence,
Providence. No, they're
okay.
14-12.
Okay,
they're 14-12. So you got Seton Hall.
Okay,
at the top, ranked number 10. Creighton, number 23 in the country. It's kind of funny that it's kind of all over the place. 23, but Villanova's ranked 15, and they're 18-6.
And we blew them out.
Yeah. So Marquette 17-7. Butler, I saw them yesterday lose to Georgetown. But so Georgetown's kind of bubble, 15-10 right now.
Yeah.
Xavier's bubble, 16-9. So Xavier's in the Big East.
Yeah. Did you ever notice that about this time until the fall, all SEC fans are quiet as could be because the SEC is absolute garbage when it comes to basketball. They don't have anything except for Kentucky. That's all they have in basketball.
Because they look like they were going to be pretty solid, and they're kind of okay, they could get 6 in the tournament this year.
Yeah.
They got a lot of... Yeah, so they got Kentucky 20-5. Calipari does a great job, man. Say what you want about Calipari, but they were looking kind of shaky, and then he gets them going. They have guys leave every year.
Yeah.
Replacing guys all the time. And
Calipari is a good coach. Unfortunately, usually every time he leaves a program, it's an absolute shambles.
It's been a while. He's been there at Kentucky for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah.
When did he start at Kentucky? It's been
at least 7 or 8 years, I think, that he's been there. It could even be more than that.
10-year Kentucky. Let's see. Let's see. It's going to take too damn long. See, he was at UMass. Remember, he had the Marcus Camby teams in UMass.
I'm Camby, damn it.
He left there and they went on probation.
Yeah. And then he went to Memphis, and they went on probation after he left.
Kentucky, he's been there a decade.
Yeah.
Kentucky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th season.
Wow.
11th
Doesn't really
season.
feel like it's been that long.
Damn, his winning percentage is almost 80%, 78% winning percentage.
Total?
Between for all time. Yeah.
He's a great coach. You cannot deny his greatness as a coach. I just wish he wouldn't leave a program an absolute mess every time he does.
Yeah. He's been at Kentucky longer than any place else.
Yeah.
So maybe he's something out. I don't know. You never know. I mean, you go with somewhere, it's not just coach, it's AD. And
that's true.
Supports that sort of stuff. So, but yeah, so Kentucky, 20-5. Auburn, Bruce Pearl. The fighting Bruce Pearls.
The Pearlman.
Yeah, I like Bruce Pearl.
I love Bruce Pearl. When he was at Tennessee, unfortunately, he got a bum rap because he was trying to get Kraft to go to Tennessee, he got a little in some trouble there for the barbecue that he was having for some players that Kraft happened to show up to.
So Auburn was they're 22-3, ranked number 11. LSU is 18-7. Shaquille O'Neal's kid.
I was just getting ready to say his son is actually going to transfer there.
Yeah. So he's going to come back to Dad's alma mater.
Yeah.
Where was he at? UCLA?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't know why he went out west to go there. I don't know why he wouldn't just gone to
maybe Shaq
LSU.
lives out west. I don't know. Maybe
Shaq probably does live out west. Yeah.
I don't know. LSU. We probably got to wrap it up fairly soon. We're an hour now. So, Coach O threw out the first pitch at LSU's baseball. I guess they've already started playing baseball.
Really?
Down there, but yeah, Coach O threw out the first pitch.
Oh man,
so,
that'd be something to see.
Yeah. He actually threw it pretty well.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I threw a strike. Go Tigers. That was wasn't very good. I got the cold. It's messing me up.
It's messing up your Coach O.
Yeah. So a lot of getting kind of crazy with college basketball. The tournament could be
fun this year, man. It could be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of. I think there's going to be a lot of. Every year there's always a 12 that upsets a 5. There may be a couple of those this year.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at, let's see, so like KenPom.com, Ken Pomeroy does college basketball rankings. He does them. He's done them for years, for like 15 to 20 years, and he does a lot of advanced stats.
Yeah.
And stuff based on strength of schedule and adjusted offensive, defensive points, rankings, and like just a lot of advanced stats, formulas, and whatnot. And a lot of this stuff turns out to be on the money when it comes to tournament time and who will advance.
Yeah. Because
a lot of it has to do with he always says you'll have like the Sweet 16 teams are always in the top 16 of adjusted defensive rankings.
Oh, okay.
So at the top, looking at his rankings, he's got Ohio State at number 9 overall in the country.
Really?
Yeah. So it makes you feel any better.
Yeah, I mean, right now I don't feel that way, but we'll see what happens. I don't know.
So Big Ten has in his rankings in the top 21, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams in the top 20.
Wow.
Yeah, in the top 25, 7. So, but you got the Kansas and Duke, the Blue Bloods up there. Gonzaga is 26-1. I mean, I don't know they've had on their schedule this year.
Well, they play in that goofy conference out there.
West Coast.
Yeah, in the West Coast Conference, where there's not a lot of big-time basketball going on out there.
Yeah, I saw them the other night. It kind of looked like Gonzaga always does. It kind of like a good size. They won 18 in a row now. They beat Pepperdine.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Pepperdine plays in a freaking high school gym. They played at Pepperdine. Oh my god, That looked like Grove City High School. I mean, but let's see, who did they play in their non-conference? Did they play anybody? Well, they played Oregon.
Okay.
They nipped Oregon by a point. And Washington, Arizona. Beat Washington, Arizona, both ranked teams.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sorry. So, and then the rest of them are kind of like, I mean, who knows when it's all said and done, but doesn't look like a great schedule. But let's see what Ken Palm had them on strength of schedule. Like, bad.
Yeah.
Like 128, 150th in the country.
Yeah, that doesn't really bode. Doesn't really bode well for the tournament for them because they're going to have some strong competition. Because I don't believe there's probably another team out of their conference that's even going to make the tournament. St. Mary's usually has a pretty decent team out there in the West Coast Conference, but I don't know if they're even that good now. They're
21-6 this year. They're kind of like Ken Palm has them. It's 37th in the country. I mean, they have a better strength of schedule than Gonzaga does.
Really?
Yeah.
They may actually make it then.
Yeah. San Diego State is 25-0.
That's right. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. But another one, strength of schedule is like in the hundreds. But, but Ken Palm has them as 5th in the country with all the adjusted stats and stuff. I mean, they're, kind of comes into play of like who you're playing matters, but also, I mean, you got like efficiency, and I mean, you still got to shoot, you still got to rebound. I mean, you still got to play ball. So, I mean, they have some good offensive efficiency. So it'll be interesting, man. I think Dayton is strong this year.
Yeah, Dayton's ranked in the top 10 right now.
Yeah. So, but they're kind of similar. You got those mid majors with like San Diego State, Dayton. I mean, they're considered, they're no slouch, but then you got these other teams like in the Big Ten and the Pac-12 and ACC. They're kind of like, not so much ACC, but definitely the Big Ten where they're cannibalizing each other, beating the shit out of each other. You don't know what they're going to have come March. And
speaking of which, I mean, the Buckeyes
got off or not. So.
Yeah, I mean, the Buckeyes got 6 games left. The only one that is, I would say, is actually probably a guaranteed win is at Nebraska. I mean, the rest of them, I don't even know. So they close at Iowa, at home against Maryland, at Nebraska. Then they get Michigan and Illinois at home, and they close at Michigan State. So, I mean, that's a tough stretch here for the last 6.
Yeah, I mean, right now they're considered 8th in the Big Ten, which is crazy because it's like, some people consider them one of the top 10 teams in the country, apparently.
Yeah.
Even though the AP does not have them. It's kind of crazy. That's just how all over the map it is. Like advanced analytics, like advanced stats have them a top 10 team, but if you go just by the coaches in the AP, they're not even like officially ranked. They're probably like 30, 35.
Yeah.
Which, crazy season, college basketball.
Yep. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah. So what do they got this week? Ohio State?
We got Iowa on Thursday, and then Maryland next Sunday at 4 o'clock.
Oh, okay. So, I don't know, maybe we'll figure out when we want to do the pod, if we want to do it like before.
Well, we'll probably have to do it after, because don't forget, I'm not going to be here next weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to Pittsburgh. So.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we'll do. So we can figure out a pod maybe later in the week or something.
Yeah, because their next game is not until like the 27th. So after Maryland.
That,
yeah, we'll time that up.
Yeah.
So
maybe we could do it on the following Monday night or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that's it. Give us a follow on Twitter at Beyond Buckeyes, and we got we're starting out with a decent amount of Twitter followers, just starting out, and without really trying to be like tweeting every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Follow us. Like be an annoying Twitter user, but
no, we've got 45 right now, and if we could get at least half those people to become regular listeners right now, that would be great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're not trying to monetize this thing. We're just trying to get people to listen, give feedback,
Absolutely.
review it, subscribe, and
Let us know how. Yeah, just
get something going, get some like really good momentum for the fall football season.
Yeah. Let us know, guys. If you're a regular listener, don't be afraid to, tell us that we are doing something bad, because we will definitely fix it. So,
Yeah, like we're trying to integrate some audio into the in with our mic sound. So we're trying to like mix that in, but we're just fine tune it before we try to throw it out there on the actual episodes.
Yeah.
We don't want
to do it during, and then it just really comes out.
crash and burn.
Yeah.
So we're still trying to work on that. We know we got some like production improvements that we can make it sound like a legit radio program or show that you would listen to. But we'll get there. So that's why we're trying to just get all this momentum and try to get better at it before we get into like full tilt.
Absolutely.
College football season, because we know we're going to get like peak audience
Hopefully,
in September, October, November. So
yeah, absolutely.
So all right,
guys, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, and we'll catch you next week.